Hello. Today is not quite my anniversary for streaming, but the 8th of October was the anniversary of me painting minis and like painting my very first mini. I'm sorry, I'm looking for a reference photo while I am recording this. And I want to say how much I appreciate this hobby due to the fact that honestly, a year ago in October, it wasn't quite then when Space Marine 2 came out. Space Marine 2 was one of the few games I bought that year because every video game seemed to be terrible. And I don't know if it was just me that's saying that. And I'm not saying every video game's bad. None of them were to my liking. I wasn't enjoying it or having a good time playing any of those video games. So my idea was, you know what? I'm gonna try Warhammer. I'm just gonna try it and see how it goes. And oh boy, did I fall face first into a rabbit hole of something that I love so much now. This honestly, this hobby, one of the best things to come into my life because at this point, I'm just having fun painting because I don't play much of the actual tabletop due to the fact that nowhere's close and I've got to figure out how to do it on TTS, which is Tabletop Simulator, and play with you guys is the plan. And I've just got to figure out how to set it up and everything. But I've just enjoyed the painting process so much more than I ever expected. So when I first started this, actually let's go back even further. When I first started the hobby, I had no interest in YouTube, doing YouTube stuff or anything like that. Once I started painting, and it was literally, I started painting October 8th. I finished some Blade Guard veterans, and then I might have done some Tyranids, and I'm like, you know what? I want to do some YouTube videos about this because, one, this hobby is so fun but so crazy intimidating that I know people would love it, but also would be like, "Ooh, it's Warhammer. That's kind of scary. I'm gonna spend $60 on something I've got to hand paint." And $60 was being generous because some of the stuff is way crazy money. I want like something called the Taunar Supremacy Armor. That's like $500. And I remember painting the first thing that was crazy expensive to me. It wasn't the intercessors, it wasn't anything like that. It was a dreadnought. And the dreadnought was so like intimidating to me after actually starting to paint because I'm like, yo, this is a lot of money. I don't want to mess this up. How can I not mess this up? And when I was doing the intricate work of the interior of the dreadnought, I realized, hey, look, everybody feels the way you're feeling right now, especially on your first ever mini. Why don't you do some YouTube videos breaking down why I like painting my minis this way, why I paint my minis, and keeping it super simple. That way, if somebody wanted to like paint the color scheme that I do, or like anything like that, do something that I've done, it's literally just grab a paintbrush and paint. I'm not using dry brushes. I'm not doing edge highlighting. I'm just putting paint on my brush and painting my minis in a way that everyone else can. Literally, a child could do this, guys. A child could paint the minis as good as I do. And there's probably children that paint way fucking better than me. And I'm perfectly fine with that. My whole goal with the hobby is to just enjoy myself, whether it comes to actually playing the tabletop or trying to. Hold on, I'm sorry. I need to look at a reference photo. Where is he? There he is. Or it's trying to just paint minis or hang out with you guys or stream or do any of that. Because never in my life did I have like any YouTube aspirations. I was never like, oh, I want to do YouTube stuff. I think it's cool. It wasn't till Warhammer and paint. Oh, I'm sorry, and painting minis that I was like, you know what, this is fun. I want to share this hobby with everyone that I can. I love it. I know other people love it. I know other people want to start the hobby that I've started, but are scared due to, I mean, intimidating minis. You can't tell me that these minis are not intimidating in any way, shape, or form. The fact is that I almost didn't even paint minis because I was like, I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to mess it up. Says a lot because I was like, you know what? Your first one's not going to be great. And he wasn't. As a matter of fact, I'll grab my first one and give me like a second because I am painting this in real time. I am painting this in real time and going on a rant at the same time. And people say I can't multitask. But it's not only just like painting minis, it's the whole community in general. You guys are a great community. If you're new to Warhammer, you're still part of a great community. Okay, I'll grab the first mini. This right here, I've showed it off many times on stream. It's my first video. Let me make it focus on it. This is my first ever mini, guys. This is where I started. And it's rough. It really is rough. This shoulder pad's not a transfer sheet. That's a 3D print because I didn't know that a transfer sheet was literally just put water on it and put it on the mini because my dumbass thought, oh, that's a reference on how to do their logo. So you're either going to freehand it or you're going to figure out a different way to do it. But this is where I started. And this is the last mini I painted. Now, you can say, hey, look, that's Death Watch. There's a lot of black. You don't have to do as much. That's true. But look at the detailing work. It's far, 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 far better than this guy. And that's not me shitting on myself at all. It's more of me saying it takes time. It really takes time. I'll show you another example that's even closer in time. This was my first mini. Let me double check him. Yes. Let me double check. I'm trying to make sure if I know if this is the... Yeah, this is the first Blade Guard veteran I painted. And Blade Guard veterans are my favorite personally. And so I'm pretty sure that he is like the 7th mini I painted. So even if like you're like finishing with... Actually, that's not true. He is more like the 10th mini I've painted. I painted these two probably a month apart. And if you're like, oh, I'm no good at painting, you absolutely can do it. This is me a month apart. And you can say, yeah, the one on the left's more ornate, whatever. Yeah, he's got more stuff, but that's just more work and more detailing. It took 4 hours to paint this mini. It took 3 hours to paint this one because my hands got steadier. I figured out easier ways to do some things. And to this day, I still don't even base coat Ultramarines blue. I base coat them black so I don't have to do certain areas and then go over with the blue. So if you were to base coat this blue, redo the black end areas, you're cutting your time down significantly. Also, you do not have to do some crazy edge highlighting or anything like that. You can leave your Marines like this. This is perfectly fine. Everyone shows their best models on their Instagram, on their Facebook. And that can't be what you try to like, oh, I'm going to be as good as that guy. This is also, I'm pretty sure this is one of my first lieutenants. I know for sure it's my first kit bash. But, I mean, there's parts in here that I don't even know. I don't even know what skull this is today. This is a skull that came a part of this, and I don't know if it's Necron. I don't know if it's some random Xenos. I just painted it red and gave it green eyes. It might be a Chaos Marine, actually, now that I think about it. But as you can see, like the top, his little, what is it called, plume? It's not perfect, and that's fine. Your stuff's not going to be perfect, and that's perfectly fine. I have stuff that's not perfect. my Discord, which is you can join, there's a link in the description. I have people share stuff to me so I can look at their stuff. So I can say, hey man, your stuff looks great, because I would rather make you feel better about your first ever mini that you painted rather than make you feel shitty because any reason, really. I'm going to lift you up every time because I know that first mini to paint is truly the hardest. It's not painting a character mini that's the hardest. It's painting that first one. Trust me, I've painted enough. Well, I've painted lieutenants and captains and such, but I haven't done like an Angron. I've done a Commander Farsight, which turned out so good. There's an imaginable there's an imaginable bull. Let me try it again. I'm not making cuts in this video, by the way. There is an unimaginable sense of creativity when you are doing something like this. The whole color scheme for my orcs, the red, I keep saying red, it's orange and blue. The whole orange and blue color scheme, don't even know where I got it from. If I remember right, blue's a lucky color for orcs, and orange has no meaningful significance at all. God damn, I can't talk today. And I'm just like, you know what? I like this color scheme. It looks good. This is a boss I did earlier. And I liked the color scheme. And it's just like, okay, I'm going to do orcs because of Orktober. I needed the combat patrol. Then I just have been enjoying painting orcs. I did one Deathwatch mini to like kind of give me a little bit of a break. And then I'm instantly back into painting orcs because it's such a good time. Painting's a good time. You just got to let it sit. Yeah, I mean, my tips for painting minis. Here you go. You ready? It's going to be crazy. You ready to hear the master tips of the 1-year painter? Patience. Truly, patience is your best friend painting. Because this paint, while thin, and it is acrylic, does not dry instantly. So that means once I get done painting the Leadbelcher on here, I need to let it sit for a minute or two. It doesn't need to sit for long, but it needs to sit for at least a minute or two before I can go back over it with a rust effect or whatever I wanted to do over the other layer of it. And it's just so wild to me how many people are like, okay, I'm going to sit down and paint this mini as fast as possible. You don't have to do that. You don't have to paint the mini in one day. It can take multiple days for a single mini. That's perfectly fine. The whole goal is to have something you're proud of at the end of the day. Like I was when I painted, that's the wrong one. Like I was when I painted this mini. I'm still proud of this mini. It's a year later, and this mini is far worse than any of my others. And I'm still proud of every single one that I do because I know I'm going to keep getting better as I keep doing them. I'm sorry that this video kind of rambled on about a handful of things, but I just want to let you know that your minis are good too. If you haven't painted one, then I know you can do a good job. If you have painted minis and you're like, this mini's crap, no, it's not, brother. Actually, as a matter of fact, I just now see a spot that I missed on this mini, and you would have never noticed until I pointed it out. It's that little piece right there. But you got this, man. You can paint these minis better than I can. That's for sure. Anyone can paint better than I can. That's maybe some self-deprecation, but to me, anyone can paint better than me. And I hope you have a great journey in this hobby. And hopefully GW kind of gets their head out of their ass, but we'll see. You all have an excellent day. Like, subscribe, leave a comment of your favorite mini or your first mini. How about you do that? Leave a comment of your first mini that you ever painted. And have a great rest of your day, evening, or night. I will see you in the next video. Bye.